Hey, this is the prophet with Nick Black. It's time to chit chat. You know nothing about blockchain. We here to fix that. You want the news on the news side?
And we're live with Nick Black in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Wouldn't it be funny if right when the countdown, when he got to, because he never goes to 1, like he leaves you in suspense. It's like 5, 4, 3, 2. Ooh, what's next? And then it was like 17. And then he just went from 17 down to 1 again. And then 47. At a certain point, you guys just check out. You're like, I'm over it. I'm over the countdown. Pew.
People love the count. They come for the countdown, Nick. That's why they're here. Are you
They're
kidding
all over.
me?
There's probably whole groups on TikTok that just listen to your countdown and then like meme it. They meme your countdown.
Yep.
Brick.
True. Probably.
How was your weekend?
Oh, I forgot to change my title. It was cold. It's snowing right now. It's snowing. Yeah, I'm rethinking my life choices of living in Idaho. Yeah, it's snowing right now.
Ugh.
I had to take all 57 of my kids to games every flipping 4 minutes over the weekend, and it was cold. That's what my weekend was like. Miserable.
That does sound like a good time. Okay, so here we are. We're going to focus for today's kind of office hours of Alternative Wealth Daily Live. We're going to focus mostly on your questions. I say mostly because we've already squandered 2 minutes talking about whimsy, but we're going to focus on your questions because I know a lot of times we will go into markets and we will go through all those little ins and outs and nuances and ups and downs. And sometimes you guys are like, yeah, bro, but we got questions, bro. And remember, whenever anything's wrong, you know, let's be honest. It's not only Brandon when there's a mistake. It's definitely only Brandon when there's a mistake. So in case you were curious.
I got that out of the way. Thank you. Yeah, they were all. I saw a few questions. It is on me.
He's the 57 kids. He can't possibly manage. Okay, why don't we do this? Let's get the market chatter out of the way quickly. Sunday night, Bitcoin kind of S the bed a little bit. Well, it wasn't any one thing. There is no, you can't point your finger to some guy yawning, but to an extent, there is the kind of butterfly effect, right? Where an event, a moment in time in these rather illiquid markets traded across extremely illiquid exchanges with sketchy, flighty investors. And that's the best of them. And I'm not talking about Joe Sixpack because Joe Sixpack got bounced on out, months ago. I'm talking about, like Michael Saylor and Do Kwon, people that are buying, that are religiously buying or borrowing to buy or convincing everyone else that they should buy Bitcoin for one of a variety of reasons. Either to create some clearly systemically flawed, risked stablecoin like UST, which is a very well manufactured paper mache horse, and inside it is a big giant bomb. And that is that if Bitcoin doesn't perform well and there's an unpegging between UST and the dollar, that whole thing comes down and you get nuked. So be very careful. There's a lot of big names giving it the large one, and they're not so good at math. Remember, a lot of these, well, actually, you don't remember, but if you look at the lifespan of these hedge funds, most of these guys that are big hedgies in the crypto space were big hedgies in the equity space, and they got blown up. They nuked their funds. They melted everyone. They got bounced. They went to the sidelines for a while. They came into crypto where people don't remember, and memory fades so quickly. You forget that the guy, like say, let's not name any names. Let's just say the guy in Canada and his last name rhymes with Novogratz. And let's say he was a Goldman Sachs guy and he spun up a big fund and he summarily melted that fund into dust and got booted by his partners in the fund that he created. Again, this is just a fictional character with the last name of Novogratz. People don't remember that he melted billions of dollars. What they remember is, he rich, bro. He's like Tony Stark. He wears those blue glasses. This dude's legit. And he's in crypto now. Stamp of approval. No. These guys that you see over and over and over talking their book, on CNBC do not care about you. They don't much care about math. And they just want to manage a big giant pile of money. Their management fee alone. Do some simple math. Brandon, are you ready for math class?
This is why I'm here. Your arithmetic.
What's a 2% management fee on $1 billion? Anyone?
That's 200 million.
Dear God, man.
20 million.
I've got. Oh my God. It's 20, bro. Thousands. You got to back the decimals. It's $20 million
wrong.
So if you manage $2, $3, $7, $10 billion on year one, you're pocketing anywhere from 20 to say $100 million in your pocket, bro. In your pocket. If you nuke that fund on year 3, guess what? You still kept that 100 million and maybe the 20 million and the 30, all those management fees, even if you did nothing. So in management, if you have one good year, no one tends to remember all the bad years where you melted their money into dust. And you have $100 million, as long as you don't squander it like the degenerate that you are with their money, you're rich forever. So don't think that because someone's rich, because they're a hedge fund manager, that they did something. That something that they did might have been to light your money on fire. It's always best to learn to do this yourself. Be your own hedge fund manager, right? So I say that, and I manage money, so maybe that's counterproductive for me. But anyway, point is, do the research, like come hang out with us, learn this stuff on your own, and then you don't have to be beholden to these guys, and then look at these rubes when they're on CNBC, flapping it, telling you what they're interested in because they're trying to get you involved in their shenanigans. And go look at his track record. Other than Ethereum, it ain't so good. I mean, the fictional person that we just talked about, whose last name might rhyme with Novogratz. So anyway, do your own research. Don't be a Novo. That's all I have to say about that. Okay, the markets are down for a variety of reasons. Doesn't matter. You're looking at where the opportunities are. The opportunities are still right now in the smart contract / infrastructure space. Interestingly, if you look at any of the big news right now is, all these companies are creating metaverse. They're creating these metaverse funds. Yeah, I want metaverse. What's in it? Is sand in it? Which tokens? Which should I buy? Which tokens are in the metaverse? There's no tokens in these metaverse funds. That's what's so funny. It's regular. It's companies. It's Google. It's Meta. It's Apple. Of course, because those are the ones that are going to be materially building the metaverse, whatever the metaverse is, which is social media plus money plus gaming, whatever that looks like with avatars and stupid hats and laser eyes and all this. That's going to be built by the big companies. It's not going to be built by Sandbox and Decentraland and Axie Infinity that have like a combined total of like 102,000 people playing a day, which any other game that would bankrupt. So that's not probably the metaverse world of the future. Just remember that these stalwart companies, these big companies that are already here to stay, are very likely here to stay. Some of them will go the way of Dell, and some of them will remain your FANGs. And then in the crypto space, buy the infrastructure if you want to, and you get to appreciate as whatever the apps of the future that build those connections from the old legacy financial system into this kind of new messy space of some decentralized and some partially centralized, limited centralized finance. I don't know what, I'm sure we'll come up with another word than DeFi, because nothing in DeFi is actually D. The only completely DeFi are these decentralized exchanges, and those things get nuked on a regular basis. Okay, other than that, cool, be smart. Let's get to your questions. Brandon, do you have any questions, just live questions that I need to answer for you before we get started?
I'm actually doing pretty good on life besides the location in which I live. But besides that, I think I'm doing okay. I'm really happy with it.
I can help you there. It's buyer's market in Los Angeles. It's buyer's market.
Okay, here we go. Let's go. We have a really good question from Dr. Rob. I know you're excited about this one because it is here. Dr. Rob wants to know, what do you think of Exodus staking format?
Okay, Doc, I know a few people that use Exodus, not many. No, I don't know anybody that's managing money. After my last little tirade, you probably don't care, but I don't know anybody that's holding a large amount of money and then offloading the platform risk of managing it through Exodus. Cool wallet, I guess. I haven't used it very much. I have a friend of mine, Dave, who uses it quite often, and he uses it with a lot of money, a lot of personal money, but no client money. So I don't want to tell you to use or not use something. Just remember, there's always going to be some platform risk. So be careful that you're not ceding your assets to a mediary or a middleman, even if it doesn't seem like it is. So for instance, think to yourself, what happens if someone pilfers a backdoor at Exodus? Does that mean that you lose all your stuff? So just be very careful. And again, Exodus may be awesome. They may have the best security and all this kind of stuff, but it may streamline your thinking to say, well, I'll just run everything through Exodus and I'll stake it all there. Usually that means that somebody's got the keys to the city, right? So as an example, with Exodus, if you lose your passphrase, lose your keys, can you still get your stuff back? If you can, then somebody has access to your stuff. And I would be a little bit apprehensive about that. If you can't, right? If Exodus is just a place where you have private keys and all this kind of stuff, and you deal with private keys, meaning it's just an avenue to stake, well, then why do you need it? Just go stake at the individual companies themselves. Go stake your AGIX with SingularityNet. Go stake your NewNet and your SDO at Singularity DAO. Go stake your Cardano with Daedalus. Run your own wallet. Have the kind of personal, the responsibility to just run your own wallets. And I know it's a little bit more bookkeeping, but in the end, you will feel much safer. Also, there's no one point of failure or loss. You'd hate to have something happen with Exodus and you just can't get any of your stuff, right? So just kind of do a risk reward, write it down on a piece of paper and see if it makes sense. Okay, next, what do we got?
As it turns out, Natalia from New York. Oh, she's from New York.
Natalia from New York. Welcome to the show.
She wants to know how Coinbase picks their coins. Is there any legitimacy, like a top 5T system, anything basically substantial to basically say that they're good coins?
So this is a good question, and we see Natalia from New York, and I think actually we've seen this question before, but it's a good one, and it bears kind of answering again. So they have a variety. They have their own kind of 5Ts, but theirs is going to be legal in nature. Coinbase doesn't really care what they list as far as the quality of the asset. That's not at all important. To Coinbase, what's important is don't get sued. And the way each of us might score an asset is obviously a lot different because they have a bunch of, ridiculous, as an investor, I think, as a value investor, they have a bunch of ridiculous assets. Most of the stuff on Coinbase is trash. But you know what? Most of the stuff on every exchange is trash. Coinbase makes their money when you buy and sell. They collect a fee. That's it. So it behooves them to list everything that they can legally list. So I would do your math like that. Because Coinbase lists something, it's not a sample. Now, go backwards 6 years, 2016, 2017, a little bit 2018, when Coinbase would list an asset, that was like, wow, it's going to be on Coinbase. Coinbase has the most exposure, ergo, there's some value. So there was a Coinbase effect when a new coin was going to get listed. That's pretty much dead. Now, people are already selling. The Coinbase effect is reversed where it's on Coinbase, people are selling. So I hope that helps. So yeah, their 5 T's is probably L's, legal, 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 and legal. And it's 5 attorneys signing off that they're allowed to list the asset and that it's not being considered a security by the SEC or the CFTC or whoever the truck is going to regulate this stuff, which we still don't quite know just yet. All right. Thank you from Natalia from New York.
Thank you, Natalia from New York. D. Todd comes on to ask about the new looks thing. Have you seen the new compounder? What's the difference between the new compounder and then the old way of staking looks?
Also, a good question. Let's cover it. So on my screen, if you would, we have the staking. Okay, I will show you the old system and I will show you the new system. The old one is like this. You have looks, the APR is 60%. Okay, quick backtrack. Go back to January. The original staking rewards were astronomically high because it was a teaser. This is all still teaser rate. So the teasers were somewhere around like 400 or 500% because they're giving away their funny money token. Remember, Looks is a funny money token created out of thin air as a way to incentivize people coming over using the exchange. Great. So they were paying like 400 or 500%. Then they were paying a similar amount in wrapped Ethereum. Say, well, where did they get the wrapped Ethereum? That comes from the transactions on the exchange. So a percent, the money that's coming in wrapped Ethereum was getting redistributed to the Looks token stakers. If you own the Looks token and you staked it through the platform, let's see if I can refresh the screen here and get you some numbers, then you got the Looks token. So that was the old staking at these numbers. Pretty good. Now, what happened is on February 10th, I think that's when it changed from the first teaser rate to the second teaser rate. The reward came down about 65% depth charge. So when that happened, and if you remember, Brandon, remember we were talking about this, we love the token, but we knew that when they recalculated, we estimated that when they recalculated this reward rate, that the token would get punished. And
yeah,
that is exactly what happened because,
it's what happened.
Math. Because math, right? And everybody's like, no, this is outrageous. It's like, well, we're not reading tea leaves, bro. This is just kind of common sense. If you lower the incentives on something, people are less incentivized to do it. So there we go. Great. Now, about a week to 10 days later, the price kind of bottomed out. I think it got around 80 cents. Did it not? Do you remember that, Brandon?
Yeah, it was like 83 cents or something like that it got all the way down to.
Yep. That was about the low. Now, I didn't buy in. I didn't do anything. I just kept staking. Well, the price of the token came back up. It briefly spiked about 2 weeks ago to 290, and which was great, but now you've got to be a forward-looking, especially being a value investor. You're forward-looking. You're looking into the future. You're making sure that the future looks like what you thought your version of the future was going to look like. And so my version of the future was hopefully they continue to onboard, except that we have this big moment in history. There's going to be another repricing. The repricing is going to happen around May 10th or 11th. And they're going to cut the rewards again. Okay, so is the reward, well, I think to counteract that, they created what was called the compounder, and some people call it affectionately the pounder. Now, the idea was some people were taking their wrapped Ethereum rewards, because remember, each day you're earning both. You're earning an amount of Looks rewards, which is based on how many people are staking. There's a certain amount, like imagine they give out 100 tokens a day. If there's 10 people staking, each person gets one. If there's one person staking, they would get all 10. That's how it works. They have a certain amount of reward Looks tokens every day that they give away to stakers. And the more people that are staking, the lower the reward. The less people staking, the higher the reward. Well, the wrapped Ethereum rewards, some people were taking them and immediately transferring them back to their wallet, which is a transaction on Ethereum, transferring it, swapping it into more Looks tokens, which is an Ethereum transaction, then restaking in the Looks staking contract, which is another Ethereum transaction. So you have a transaction. What they did is they said, look, how about we'll create compounder where you can just immediately stake those assets. You can just take what you would be earning in wrapped Ethereum, convert it to a commensurate amount of Looks tokens in real time. And the real time is about every 30 seconds ish. So it's about from 950 to say 1,000 times per day, which is a lot. And so it saves you on fees. And if the price of the Looks token comes down, you actually end up making a bunch of Looks tokens because it's Looks tokens relative to wrapped Ethereum. And you'll notice the Ethereum price I mean, it got up to like 3,700 for just a blip a few weeks ago, but for mostly it's been around 3,400 or 3,000 and just been kind of wobbling. Well, the Lux token price has dramatically dropped. So you're getting twice as many Lux tokens per wrapped Ethereum right now, which is cool. And so that's what a lot of people, I actually moved my, so two things. I had sold at $2.91. I just felt like a few weeks ago, I was like, I don't know, this feels far too fast and doesn't make sense. So I sold my original position. All of my original investment is out of this. I'm now on the house money, which is great because I have zero emotional, angst, and I can sleep at night. I couldn't sleep at night before. Well, I could. I had to cry myself to sleep on my Gucci pillow. It is what it is. But I felt better getting my original investment out in this particular asset. Lux, while it's awesome, while the LuxRare platform is awesome, it's great for crypto. It's great to have a competitor to OpenSea. It's not a quality asset. It's a funny money token. And as long as you understand that it's a funny money token, then you can kind of behave accordingly. This would be in that 5% bucket. Forget about the rewards that it pays. But the reality is this is a funny money token with a very flimsy, very sketchy underlying bid. Like not much. And that's why the price can drop to where it is now. Well, anyway, so the difference between the compounder and the Lux, the regular Lux staking is about 100% because you're just converting Ethereum, which is still maintaining its price from the last few weeks. And the Lux token has not, and it degraded. And since it did in price, since it fell, you're getting more Lux tokens per Ethereum. So if you're staking, the compounder is a better way to do it right now. Now, as the Lux token melts back up, $3-4, maybe. I don't see that happening anytime soon. Matter of fact, I think this token goes well below $1 this time. My guess, 50 cents, 50, 65 cents, leading into and right after the readjustment in rewards. So just have that in the back of your mind. If you were looking to enter this, do not. I mean, you do what you want to do. I will not. I will not. I'm going to hold what I have. I'm not going to sell anything, but I would not enter a position in this token knowing that it's about to get kicked super hard in the softies. There we go. Brandon, would you be entering a Lux position right now?
Hold on, I'm busy buying Lux. What's that? What'd you say?
I'm buying Lux.
I'm
buying Lux with everything I got.
I didn't hear what you said. I'm buying Lux. Hold on a second. You said $1.50 buy. Lux is interesting. The prospect of Lux is very interesting. I think that the platform is really good, but and I've told you this before, I just don't think that they have the mass usership that is necessary for them to be a stable platform going forward. Until they get that, I'm not going to be a believer fully in their whole ecosystem. That's just the way it is. I don't use Lux to buy or sell, unfortunately, because there's no volume and there's not as many eyeballs. That's all.
There's no volume, meaning no. Yeah, I have I get offers on my paint, and the offers are better on Lux, but they are fewer. Yeah. But they're fewer. Yep. Because they don't get as many eyeballs. Would it make a difference? Let me ask you this: would it make a difference if, when A, OpenSea issues a token, and B, MetaMask issues a token? Do you think either of those would have an effect? Would that validate the Lux token in a weird way? Your brain just blew up, didn't it?
I don't know if it would take away from it. More so than anything else. I mean, it would only detract even more so from the Lux platform. I think the good thing that Lux does have going for it is the only one that has a legitimate type token and their platform together. But if OpenSea released a token, boom, everybody's on OpenSea for sure, because they're going to make infinitely more on the rewards from OpenSea just because of the volume alone. Same with MetaMask. So nobody's going to talk about Lux ever again the rest of their life.
But you're assuming that a token launched on OpenSea would just be a mimic of Lux. I don't think there's any universe where the people at OpenSea are giving anyone any piece of the Ethereum being collected ever. Period. Full stop. Never.
That's a good point, just based on the team's history.
They ain't doing nothing.
I think you have a good point, and they have no reason to. So you're right there.
No
you're
way.
Right. So
They don't
any
care.
token would
They don't
not
care at
have
all.
a share of the pot. True. MetaMask token. Now we're talking. Let's make that happen. Let's make it happen.
That's
I
actually,
like that one a
it's
lot.
coming, but they said, don't think it's going to be just free money showered on people. Well, either you're going to give me a token for using it or you're not, bro. Like, it's like your grandpa gives you a gold coin. Don't spend this. Well, then don't give it to me, Gramps.
That's right.
All right, next, let's check this next. Let's see what Grandpa's next question is.
Here we go. This is actually from member 00072284412. Can you stake SDO with Ledger Live Wallet instead of MetaMask wallet?
I do not know. So I stake directly at these platforms directly. I have MetaMask accounts set up. I'll put a variety of certain assets. In my particular case, I have a MetaMask account that was used when I originally set up. I bought Singularity DAO in the ICO, well, in their initial token sale, through a variety of means. And so every month tomorrow, on the 13th, I get my Singularity DAO allocation, which I then immediately stake at Singularity DAO. So Singularity DAO has become two things. One, the place where you stake and participate in token sales in the AGI ecosystem, the AGI, AGI, the company, Singularity Net. But also it's the place where you would go and stake NewNet. It's the place where you would join Dynasets with Ethereum, with any of the AGI assets, or with Bitcoin. So it's kind of the hub. So I'm just going directly between MetaMask and the hub. I don't have another cutout, which is like Ledger Live. I actually had some problems, and I switched. I use the Engrave N0, which is a little bit more expensive, but it is the most super spy cool James Bond, Van Damage, Chuck Norris on meth hardware wallet. This thing is badass times of infinity, but it's a little bit out of most people's kind of budget. It's around $500 or $600. It's just that it's by far the best one. So I don't even use a Ledger anymore. However, the Ledger Nano X is just fine for most people. And yes, Ben, we are long Skynet. It's not selling out, it's buying in. When the robots come, they're going to need human emissaries to point at where the other humans are hiding. I was like, I know where Brandon and Eric are. They're in that dumpster over there. I'll say, Brandon, Eric, yo, they caught us, man. They caught us. Y'all get out of that dumpster. And then Skynet.
So, we got a couple of questions from the chat. Do you want to hit those up really quickly before we rock and roll?
Lightning
out of
round.
here?
We're hit the lightning round. Thank you very much.
This is an unfortunate question here. Maybe you can help answer a little bit better than I. If my account got hacked and took some of my assets, what can I do to get them back?
Le Rousse, le touche. Je suis désolé, mais c'est un grand problème. Vous avez pas de choses. There's nothing you can do if your account got hacked. You can shut the account down. You can go and you can look at and see if the attack came from an exchange. See if there's someone you can hold accountable. But if it's in a private wallet and you exposed your private keys, it's gone. Report it to whoever you can. Obviously, if you're in the United States, you would file an IC3 internet crime report, file it. Obviously you can take it from your taxes. That's a loss. That's like a grand theft it's a taxable event, I guess that's the plus side is you could, like I had over 100,000 lumens stolen. It was right off. And actually I think I won on that because the year I wrote it off at like 80 cents and it's like 19 cents right now. I guess I could build that position back up, but the token sucks so bad I wouldn't. Anyway, yeah, it's unfortunate. Report it to who you want to report to, file it, take the tax, whatever tax benefit there is from that. Talk to your accountant, obviously, which I am not. But if it's gone, it's gone. That's the thing about crypto. It's not like you can't go to the bank and say like, give it back or whatever. It's just, if it's gone, it's gone. So it is.
It is what it
unfortunately.
is. I feel horrible
just
about that. Yeah, I mean it's a bad situation, but here's the thing you got to remember on crypto. Just don't click on any links.
Yeah,
or
don't click
picture
links. In
or
Discord,
anything else.
never click links, never click text messages, ever, period, full stop. Even if I don't even click UPS or FedEx, nothing. I see it, I go log into the app. I see it, I go log into the app. Even a PayPal thing. Oh, PayPal, you just received blah, blah, blah. Well, first of all, I don't do nothing on PayPal. So if you send me a PayPal text, I know it's a scam. I go log into PayPal and surprise, surprise, it's not there. They're just trying to fish.
That's right.
Everybody's trying to steal your stuff. Unfortunately, and you know, I feel bad for anybody out there, but it is the reality. On that note, on that
wait.
note,
There's a
Well,
Nick.
go.
Before there's a new one that I just got to tell you guys about. There's a new one. They sent an image. You know how like sometimes the image says loading. You got to click on it to make it. The new
Yes,
one.
you don't
says
click.
loading. You click on the loading image. It like takes your Discord API keys and everything, and they can log in as you. Oh, don't do it. Anyway.
It unloads your private keys. So
Yeah, it unloads you.
the loading unloads. So be very careful. Please stop. Oh, and thank you for joining us. And for anybody that wants to kind of dig into crypto, go back 3, 4, 5 shows. We have a link where you can look at replays anytime in real time, and go back and do your kind of ear research. And then obviously don't just take what you hear from us, but get other information. Go and kind of study this stuff. And the more you know, the less you'll get beat up and the more money you make. And you won't have to be like Brandon with 58 kids, hoping one of them plays a professional sport so he can pay back all of these loans that he's taking to support all these kids. On that note, stay in school, don't do drugs, don't do anything my poor insolvent drunk strung out on meth grandmother or Brandon or Eric or Brerick wouldn't do, and that ain't much. We'll see you Thursday. Tout à l'heure and tout à l'heure.
We talking condos and nice clothes and dropping Lambos. I remember them night codes.